Well, everyone, it's Dan here from Thomas Road Support. In this video we're going to be going through a few more elements within the Brailie WordPress theme. So next up we're looking at the media player block, which is used for local videos or MP3s. Of course the theme supports regular WordPress and Vimeo embeds and so on, but in this video we're going to concentrate on the media player block itself. So if we take a look to see how this works. You see the block itself is very simple. In its settings you can choose whether you're hosting local audio or video. You can give your item a poster image, which is obviously the visual representation, and you can specify the URL to your chosen MP4 and WebM files. Now it's important, if you are choosing to do local video, you do need both of these file types to be supported for all browsers, so do bear that in mind. But once done, simply pop your URLs in here. They can be either in your local media library or so on. Hit save and you're all set. Next up we'll look at the Lightbox block. And this is really handy if you want to show off some images specifically. It's very easy to use and also supports things like YouTube videos and so on. So if we take a look at the example there, you can have just a regular image, you can have one with a caption, or a video. Really handy. If we edit the page and just see how this looks, you can see there we've got our Lightbox block here with very simple settings. So choose what it is you're trying to put in the Lightbox and pop in your media as needed. Easy. But to really drive this home, we'll add our own section and make our own example. So we're going to have a nice image with a caption in there. So the initial image will be the first image that you see, which you then click on to open up another. We'll use this nice little picturesque scene here. Next up, you've got the image that actually appears in the Lightbox. Now this would typically be a higher resolution version of the image you've clicked on, but we are completely free to do with this whatever you want. So I'll choose that one here. You can then specify the title which appears on hover, so I'll just put click me. And if you were using a video and such, you can pop the URL to that video here. And the caption, I can put, hello, I am cool. If we update the page and just take a look, you can see we've got our example here with our hover text. When we click on that, we've got our separate image with the message below there. That is cool. Brilliant. Next up, we're going to look at the pricing tables. You see here, very stylish. They are very simple to use, but we'll go through the process of creating one now. So if we look at one of the examples, you can see we've got a setting here to pop in the title, the currency, the amount and so on, as well as choose the overall display style, whether it's boxed or basic. But to drive this home, we'll create our own. So we'll pop in our own section, give it a row, and we'll pop in a pricing table here. Okay, so for the title, I'll give this price. Currency, we'll give it a good old blighty pound. Amount, choose per month. And for the pricing details, this is one per line, as you can see. So we'll put in, it doesn't really matter I suppose, I can just put in 1, 2, 3, 4. And each line would be a feature of that particular pricing table. Now you can optionally choose to have an icon, so you can pick from one of the ones we provide you. And of course you can choose the different display styles as well. So I'll choose basic here, I'll clone this over, and just for contrast I'll choose the boxed style. So we take a look at our section here. We've got our custom block that we've just added with everything all nice and neat. And that's that. And finally in this video we'll go through the process steps, which is a really handy little element which is used to demonstrate, I suppose, different parts of your service and whatnot. Obviously you can see it's quite well styled as well, with either well, you can have nothing or you can have an arrow or line that joins them all up. It just gives it a really nice look. If we edit the page and see how these are put together, you'll see there are a couple of things to note if you look at the demo data. So the actual block itself is very, very simple. If I just create a little section here for you, so I'll pop in a process step, call it number 1, that's fine. You can choose the alignment for the text. I'll just put in any old random blurb, and that's fine. I'll clone this over, and we'll change this to 2, and finally 3. Now if we update the page and take a look, the first thing you'll notice is our custom one we've just added there doesn't have any lines or anything in between it. And that's because we use a specific CSS class applied to the row to give these funky little lines here. And what that means, if we head back to the page, if you look at the row which is containing the process steps, we've got some CSS classes here, process wrapper, arrow, gutter, etc. Now these are detailed in the documentation, but we'll cover them here as well. If we paste one into our row class here, you see what it will do is actually give these columns more space per column. It will apply an arrow in between each one, and the process wrapper is just something to activate these particular styles here. So if we hit save, you'll see that's now been added. So if you're unclear on that, do check out the documentation, etc. But basically the best thing to reference would be the demo data where you can see the class in use. So that's it for this video. If you have any problems, come and see me over at support.